recorded it. I'm going to do it all again. I can't believe what I've done. I've just done loads of stuff and not recorded any of it. So I'm going to start again. It's really boring. Okay, this morning I'm going to make Cumberland sauce. Now, Cumberland sauce is a very traditional recipe. And I think I got it from that a Reader's Digest Cookery Through the Year or something very lovely old book. I've still got it. It became a firm favourite in our household and was also quite favoured when I did business lunches and buffets and Christmas. I used to do Christmas lunches every day for a fortnight in London for the company I work for. So Cumberland sauce is brilliant with gammon. If you cook your gammon in Coke, a la Nigella and various other people, it's delicious with that. It's also delicious with other cold meat, but traditionally with gammon. So if you've got your gammon on Boxing Day, or even Christmas Day, or New Year's Day, whenever it is, Thanksgiving, I don't know, this is good with it. I have saved these little bottles, which had sauces in, salad dressings, I think both of them. No, one had barbecue sauce and one had salad dressing. I've obviously washed them, I've taken the labels off, and I think with they've got screw top lids, and I think with a nice cheery Christmassy bow and a fancy schmancy label around there, they'll make lovely gifts. I was talking to Julie about this the other day, because when you visit someone at Christmas, you don't take them a present, you know, maybe they're not people you buy a present for, but they're entertaining you. How lovely to take a nice thing that you've made. You could take a little basket with 2 or 3 things in, and it would just be fabulous. It wouldn't cost you very much. Bottle of this, maybe a jar of the chutney if you've made the chutney, which is busy maturing in my fridge, so I can taste it soon. Little packet of biscuits and fudge. It just shows that you've thought about them, you've cared. It'll be wrapped beautifully. You can put, if you've seen or heard of Jenny Clare, she was given artisan chutneys for her 60th birthday with straw in. She did a very funny routine that we went to see, which was hilarious. So yes, you can put straw or shredded tissue or whatever in a little basket or a pretty box, cover it in paper, and lo and behold, you've got a lovely gift for not very much money and not very much effort, if the truth is told. So I started to make this yesterday. This is proving to be a difficult one. Started making it yesterday, didn't have a vital ingredient. Started again today, forgot to record it. This is going to be 3rd time lucky, guys. Okay, so there are very few ingredients, some of which I've already started to use, I'm afraid. So the ingredients are 1 orange, let's move that out of the way. 1 orange, 1 lemon, some port. That was my vital ingredient, which I didn't have. I thought we were bound to have port, we didn't have. We had white port, but no red port. And red currant jelly. Now, the original recipe I have is for a pound of red currant jelly. That would make an awful lot. You don't want that much, I doubt, unless you have a Victorian Christmas coming up. But this is Sainsbury's, as you can see, and it's 250 grams, so basically half a pound. And that's enough for what we're doing. The final thing you need is not necessarily Dr. Oetker's, but somebody's ground arrowroot. Quite hard to get hold of. Arrowroot is tapioca starch, and it's just like really, really fine corn flour, but it's better, goes completely clear. In the good old days, before, what was that stuff called? Do you got a little packet of jelly that you made up and put over your fruit? See me putting it over my fruit tarts. But before that, we used to use arrowroot. And this was in the days when fruit came in syrup, not in fruit juice, in a tin. So you'd get a tin of peaches, mix the syrup with arrowroot, like corn flour in a sauce, and then pour it over the top, and it would go clear and set in a little jelly. So that's what we want. This comes in 6 packets, I think it is, in a thing. They keep for about 3 years, so no hurry. If you don't buy it in those 3 little packets, you will get a great tub of it, which probably will go stale easier. These packets don't, because if you don't open them, they don't go stale. First thing we've done is pare the rind from our fruit. Now, I started off with this, my favourite potato peeler, but it sliced them a bit thickly, and I got a lot of the pith on that orange. And it's quite a big orange, so I'm going to leave those 3 bits off. And then I did the rest with this potato peeler, which I don't like for peeling potatoes, but turns out it pares fruit beautifully. Now, you can, if you wish, just zest the lemon and the orange. and you will get little bits of lemon and orange still to put in your sauce, but you won't have matchsticks, which is what you kind of want matchsticks. So there we are, because they look pretty. The bits don't look quite as decorative somehow. So I went to turn this off because it was boring watching me cut these up, and I realized I hadn't turned it on, which is why I've started for the third time. So you cut these into strips like this, and then I'm going to reboil my kettle, which is lurking behind me, having not long boiled and made Bob a cup of coffee, but I noticed not me a cup of tea. I made him one, but I didn't make me one. So when I reboil it, I will make myself a cup of tea. I realized this morning that normally when I'm cooking, I have the radio on, and I keep putting the radio on, and then I start to do this. I think, oh, I've got to turn the radio off. So you're making me Miss Woman's Hour, you're up a lot. So, oops, I'm being very careful not to cut myself after. If you watched the video that I did the other day of the cheese medallions, where I cut myself, nearly bled out while I tried to get the plaster out the packet. It's hilarious. I had to take a knife to the packet to get the plaster out. I would have died probably if it had been anything serious that needed a plaster. At any rate, there we go. That comes off there. Right, so those are going to go into a little bowl. The coffee's here. Sorry, I made it, not giving it to you. Little bowl like that. Then I'm going to blanch them in boiling water for 5 minutes. So boiling water, 5 minutes. Ah! There's the one side without dipping your thumb in the boiling water if you can help it, because that really hurts. Ow! Right, I'm not being very successful, am I? Okay, we want 4 tablespoons of orange and lemon juice. Okay. We had a discussion about lemon and orange squeezers yesterday. I wanted one of those, oh, I've burnt my thumb. I wanted one of those old-fashioned glass ones. And my friend was going shopping somewhere where I knew they'd have them. And I said to her, she said, oh, do you want, I'm going wherever it was, do you want anything? I said, could you get me an old-fashioned, I think she was going to, what's that shop at Heart of the Shires, you know, a lovely cookery shop that also is in Northampton. I said, could you, what's it called? Anyway, you know the one I mean. I said, oh, could you get, you know, the old-fashioned ones, glass ones, a bit like this. Oh, yes, she said. And she came back with this very exotic and very expensive, I'm sure, squeezer. Maybe you will have one and love it. It's this one here, and it has holes in the bottom where the juice, is supposed to come out, and you squidge it like that. You have to cut the bottom off so it sits flat. But what happens is when you squeeze it, the juice erupts everywhere, normally all over me, all over. Bless her. I never use it. I feel really embarrassed. And she wouldn't let me pay for it, of course, which is even more embarrassing. So you've got to squeeze the oranges and lemons with whatever implement you have about your person. Having just put the red currant jelly in a saucepan, I've just realised you could have done this all in the microwave, but I didn't give it a thought. So I'm going to do it on the hob, which will involve, of course, much moving of cameras and computers, but I will do it on the hob. So you're going to melt the jelly very gently. You squeeze your juice into something. The juice into here, and you want tablespoons of juice. You want 2 tablespoons of lemon and 2 of orange. Now, there are a squillion recipes for this. I have since discovered online, of course. Everything's online. Whatever recipe you want is online. And I think you can probably buy a jar of it in Tesco's. But the fact is, I've never met anyone who's made it except me and my son. So I don't know why. Most of the recipes have more ingredients. A lot of them use red wine and not port. Some of them have mustard in. Lots of them have fresh cranberries in. If you want a cranberry recipe or a red currant, another red currant recipe, Delia does a lovely red currant and orange recipe, and her cranberry recipe is gorgeous as well. So half a lemon is 2 tabs, as we know from previous encounters with me. So you can find lots of other recipes. I do the one that I know works, as you know. I trial it so you don't have to. So I'm going to move this all across now. So bear with, caller. Bear with. Well, I just lift this over here. And put this over here. Oh, there we go. My cleaners never actually queried the fact that I have masking tape on my cooker hood. Josh thinks I'm balmy. So we're going to melt the jelly, obviously slowly, in a saucepan. You've got your juice, and I'm going to drink what's left of the orange juice. Oh, which is lovely. Something about freshly squeezed orange juice, isn't there? Yum yum, it's really sharp. Particularly when combined with toothpaste, I find, which is the last thing that was in my mouth, which was toothpaste. Oh, that's interesting. So, 2 teaspoons of your arrowroot, and I'm not sure how much is in one of these packets, so I've just got the packet open. I haven't measured it out. I'll measure it into my pan when we need it. Meanwhile, I'm just melting this very slowly. This would have been ideal to put in the microwave, actually, melt, and I don't know why it didn't occur to me, but once I've got the saucepan dirty, I was kind of stuck with it. And you need 1/8 of a pint of, oh, where have you gone, girls? 1/8 of a pint of port. Okay. So let me just go here. Oh, go here. I'm trying to go back to that. Go back to that. Go back to that. I don't want to stop recording. I want to go to there. Oh, it's really not good morning. I'm not, but I don't think I'm supposed to record this because I keep doing it so wrong. Right, that's starting to melt. It's a surprising long time to melt. It is just about starting to melt. So I'm going to measure my port. 1/8 of a pint. Oh, what is it? 1/4 of a pint is 5 ounces, 2.5 fluid ounces. And I haven't got anything that measures 2.5 fluid ounces, but I have got in here, I'm going to measure this. I've got a shot measure, you know, for your gin, which I try to use. Oops. 2. That's interesting. Right. Really starting to liquidize now, but some of it is still a lot of lumps in, so you've got to be patient with it. Oh, that's very annoying. I think 1/4 of a pint is how many fluid ounces is 1/4 of a pint? Who knows? I've just got this. I've got a I've got a measure which is 50 ml and 25 ml, so a single or a double shot. And I think that an eighth of a pint is one of those, and one of those, and one of those. That's what I think. I think that's, yeah, that's what it is. Right, going to do that. No, it's slightly over, but it's port, so who cares if it's slightly over. Right, so roughly, roughly an eighth of a pint of port. As I say, some of the recipes I know, the more modern recipes, say red wine, I guess because people are more likely to have red wine. But I did think if I'd gone to, there's a shop that does loads and loads of miniatures. Asda do lots and lots of miniatures, or always used to. And I'm sure you'd buy a miniature of port in there. If you don't want to buy a bottle, open it and drink it, which would be much more fun. And we had loads of port, and I don't know where it's all gone. I think we've given it, I don't know, I think we've given it away because I don't believe we've drunk it. As I say, we've got white port, but Bob and I both searched saying, well, we've got port, but we haven't. So there we are. That's melted, I think, as near melted as makes no odds. I think that'll do. And into that melted-y goo, we're going to add the juices. And then you're going to bring that to the boil. Meanwhile, I'm going to drain my peel and refresh it in cold water. So I'm going to put it into a colander and then run cold water over it to refresh it. It is duly refreshed. That's what they look like. Nice and bright and cold now. So this is boiling. So we're now going to simmer that gently for 5 minutes. You like that? Yes. Yeah, breakfast. And once that's simmered for 5 minutes, we're going to stir in our port. In the meantime, we're going to ask Bob to open the port, is what we're going to do. In the meantime, you're going to blend your arrowroot with a little bit of water to make a paste, just like you're using corn flour. So I'm going to put the arrowroot into another little bowl. I'm running out of little bowls here. In fact, I'm going to use the, I'm going to put you on here now. I'm going to use the glass that I had the orange juice in. I'm fed up making things dirty. So I'm going to have two teaspoons full of arrowroot. 1, 2, which is not a whole packet of this, but you know, it's going to be enough. Oh, and there's Bob getting breakfast. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
So that's simmering away nicely there. Arrowroot needs to be put with some water. It says mix it with a tablespoon of water, but actually I think I'm going to mix it with some of this juice because I've got the juice left and it's no use to anybody. So I'm going to mix it with a bit of orange juice instead. Just make a paste with the orange juice. Ask off the sugar with the cereal. Sugar for your syrup. So yes, I'm just mixing that to a paste, just as I say, just as if you're using corn flour or custard powder. You know how you mix it with it to a paste. That's ready there. I'm going to throw this other little bit of arrowroot away because I'm not going to use that little bit. I might use a little packet in something else, but I won't use that little bit. I know when my son rang me, as he does most years, can I have that Cumberland sauce recipe? I've given it to you. Yes, I know, but can I have that Cumberland sauce recipe? because he always does gammon, and he always cooks Christmas dinner with whichever family he's in, because he's good. And when I said to him arrowroot, he went, oh, arrowroot, where do I get arrowroot? But as I say, I now got it in Tesco's with no problem at all, so that's quite useful. So that's bubbling away for its 5 minutes, and I've got the port open. Bob's managed to open the port. I'm going to have that gets added next. Now, once this has simmered for its 5 minutes, you stir in your port. Okay. One. Two. Three. Okay. Oh, it smells lovely now. You stir in your arrowroot mixture. I'm going to turn the heat off while I just do that. It doesn't say to, but I just feel happy doing it. Bring it back to the boil. It's got bits of orange in it. I used orange juice. Bring that back to the boil because you've got to cook that arrowroot. That's up to the boil. Absolutely wonderful. Tastes absolutely wonderful, I should say. Now, I think I'd like that a bit thicker. I don't think that's quite thick enough for me. I like it to be quite thick. So you don't want to pour it, you want to spoon it over whatever you're serving it with. So I'm going to do the rest of the arrowroot from that packet, and this time in a drop of water. Mix it to a paste. I'm going to add a bit more arrowroot just to make it a little bit thicker. So you'll need to add the whole packet of arrowroot. One again. It's a lovely ruby red colour, as you can see. Obviously, port and red currant jelly. Absolutely gorgeous colour. You serve this cold, by the way. I don't know if I've said that, but you serve this cold. So once that's come back to the boil, we know that we've cooked that arrowroot thoroughly. And it will thicken on cooling. And as I say, I was just about to say, and it will thicken on cooling, to say you serve it cold. Hence putting it in a bottle. I'm going to taste it again because, oh, why wouldn't you? Can you see the colour? It's absolutely lovely. It's lovely. Oh, it's lovely. It's really lovely. So you add your rinds and you remove it from the heat. So she's removing it from the heat, moving it somewhere to show you from it, away from the heat. On there. Okay, so there it is, with your orange and lemon rind in it. And that's it. That's Cumberland sauce, just ready for Christmas Day. How delicious. Or in our case, just ready to pour into our pretty bottles or jars. Or you could, even if you saw one, as I did, in a charity shop. Oh, hold on. Sound like Jane here. In a charity shop, I found this. Isn't this the prettiest little sauce boat? And look, isn't that absolutely lovely? I think it's probably meant for mint sauce because it's a leaf, but I think it's cost me, I don't know, 50p or something in a charity shop. You could put the sauce in that and give that as a gift. Wouldn't that be lovely? Bit of cellophane over the top, bit of cling film over the top first so you don't spill it on the way. But I just think this is just a lovely, it's delicious if you just want to keep it for yourself, but you can make it into a really pretty gift. So enjoy.